Hello everyone, Horveld here. It's been a couple of weeks since my last video, and as we all know, the election was decided. This past Tuesday, November 8th, Donald Trump was elected the 45th President of the United States. I believe I've touched about this quite a bit on social media, and I haven't really gotten, and I think I made one, maybe two announcements about this on on two of my WordPress blogs, but it's going to be a pretty interesting 4 years, if I have to do say so for myself. I believe I mentioned this in the last video I uploaded in regards to politics, in which I said that I am no longer a member of the Democratic Party. There are a number of reasons for that. For me, the most primary reason for that is number one, there are a lot of things going on with political parties in general, especially in the last, I'd say, since I became old enough to vote, which is 2002. I had to think about it, but the first election that I voted in was the 2004 election. Yeah, the 2004 election when I voted in that presidential election. I also voted for Massachusetts governors, city councilors, state senators, congressmen. I voted for the current mayor, whose job I will be coming for in the next few months, more than likely, and a couple other things. But this was the first election in which I didn't vote as a Democrat. Um, I feel like I had one thing in mind when I started recording this video, but now that I've already gotten this far point, I might as well split it between those two topics now. I mean, I'm not going to waste my time recycling a lot of the stuff that CNN and a lot of the other right wing agenda news outlets in both TV, newspaper, and as well as websites have been talking about since Tuesday in terms of we didn't see this coming. I can't believe it. What did we do wrong? I'm like, y'all did everything wrong. Mistake number one was actually believing that Donald Trump didn't have a chance. He was a Republican nominee, so obviously there was a very real possibility of that happening. Now, granted, the only person that I'd say the one person that was legit surprised that Donald Trump won, and I'm pretty sure a lot of folks on both sides of both Democrats and Republicans will agree with me on this. The one person that was surprised more than anyone else that Donald J. Trump will be the 45th president of the United States is Donald J. Trump himself. I mean, the more you think about it, the more interesting slash amusing it is. Just thinking about it. I don't think amusing the fact that a guy with this particular personality will now be the next commander in chief. It's just very interesting that once again the establishment underestimated what they were up against and paid for it. And in terms of White House election, the same thing happened in 2000 when you had Al Gore going up against Bush 43. Then it happened again in 2000. No, that was 2000. I think I might have mixed up the years, but that happened in 2000. I mean, of course, technically Bush 43 wasn't elected. The Supreme Court made that decision in 2000, and then the same thing happened again in 2004 with Bush 43 and John Kerry. But yeah, very interesting times that we're living in now. Now, on the one hand, I disagree with a lot of the folks on the right that are quick to say that all the protests are all for nothing and that it's just a lot of professional protesters and race baiters that are fueling a fire and all that crap. I'm like, if that's what you truly believe, you live in. I have nothing to say to you if that's what you truly believe. I mean, speaking for myself, I'm not getting emotionally. I wasn't emotionally I wasn't emotionally involved in this election because I wasn't really backing either of those candidates from the beginning, so I could care less from a personal standpoint. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, Hillary Clinton will not be the 45th president, and I feel that's what's best for this country, honestly. I mean, I mean, just looking at this from a lot of different angles. A lot of the media is going out of its way to work up the emotions of certain people, certain members of the American population, both CNN, Fox News, and a lot of the other folks in between and all that. But I think it's way too early for folks to go into full panic mode. I mean, obviously, just being real in terms of a lot of stuff that Donald Trump said during the course of the campaign, you're going to take precautionary measures, excuse me, need to be taken just to ensure that no civil liberties are violated. Because as we already know, all across this country, there have been thousands of reported cases from individuals in which this has already happened from the moment the election was a done deal. So, yeah, it's kind of interesting where the vast majority of states in which these so-called incidents are being reported in are states in which are predominantly states that voted for Trump. It's pretty interesting. Like it would have been one. I will give playing devil's advocate for a minute. It would have been one thing if the vast majority of these complaints were from states that voted for Hillary Clinton, but the vast majority of them are in states with the Republican, where the Republicans can pretty much control things more or less, where they have a Republican majority. I should that's the word I'm looking for, but it's pretty interesting. I mean, he will be sworn in. I believe it's the 17th or the 20th. I can't remember exactly, but there's a lot of things that will have to happen between now and then. I mean, the media is doing a pretty interesting, good. I'm pretty impressed. The media is going out of its way to not say that Donald Trump is scheduled to stand trial on December 13th for a sexual assault case or something like that. But I mean, it's kind of interesting that the media isn't really getting into that right now. I mean, it's fascinating. I mean, that aside, in terms of the question, do I think Donald Trump will be a decent president? I mean, honestly, I'll be impressed if he actually makes it through all 4 years with a lot of the stuff that he himself has suggested and the people that he's chosen to surround himself have suggested in terms of what may or may not happen during the Trump presidency. It'll be very, very interesting. And like I said to someone earlier today that I was on the phone with, not even the militias based in California, Texas, and a lot of other states that have open carry laws will be able to protect the sitting president from possible impeachment and a lot of other things that may go on. I mean, it's going to be a very interesting 4 years, or I should say, actually, it'll be a very interesting 2 to 4 years. I mean, the Democrats and a lot of progressives from both sides of the aisle should take this time to figure out what they're going to do in 2018 and 2020. I mean, on the one hand, the Bernie Sanders movement was pretty crushed that he wasn't the one that was put up against Donald Trump. But hey, stuff happens. I see this more as an opportunity. I have a couple of choice words that I want to say to a certain person that I kind of promised that I would say, but I'm going to say that for a second video. The phone that I just had a phone call, but I'm gonna wait until I'm finished recording this because this ain't gonna take much longer to finish. Um, I'm gonna talk a bit more about the injustice boycott movement as I think it stands now and the direction it may go moving forward in another video. But to finish my earlier train of thought, I think right now folks should take the necessary precautions in regards to what may or may not happen in a Trump presidency. And just don't allow yourself to get too emotionally involved. At this point, folks need to shut off the TV, don't watch the news for a while, do what they got to do to emotionally get themselves right, all that, etc., so forth and so on. And just keep your eyes open. I mean, I've been seeing a lot of things outside of politics that are greatly concerned to me in the last few weeks in particular, but I'm gonna save that for another video, probably more than likely. But yeah, I mean, oh, before I forget, I'm wearing the hoodie because my hair is growing back, and the problem that I noticed in the other video after I recorded it is pretty visible in the mirror behind me. So like, I'll put it on in advance just so it isn't a stretch. I mean, if I notice it, then obviously someone else will. Um, I will say that the one group that I'm not surprised but impressed is pretty pissed off about how the election went is the media. It's pretty interesting, and I'm actually pretty happy in the sense that they're pretty scared about losing access to the president, not because of who it is, but because of they're losing that access to the president of the United States, which they haven't had to deal with since Bush 43. I mean, the media can make or break people, as I've mentioned in another video. But yeah, my advice to anyone from the media that's seeing this is, y'all ain't I get you guys are just trying to do your jobs, but y'all ain't you guys are not obligated to anything. I mean, all I could say is, I'm not saying you're not obligated to freedom of the press and all that, but all I'm gonna say is just wait and see. Ask questions, obviously, but all I can say is, like the rest of the country, y'all gonna have to wait and see. I'm gonna stop the video here, but I'm gonna keep this rolling in at least two other videos. If not tonight, then I'm gonna record them over the course of this week. Until next time, America and the rest of the world, um, just don't do anything stupid, please. Later.